Hi, I'm Manny Ax, host of Classical Music Happy Hour. Back in March, we threw a launch party for the show, and I was joined by actor David Hyde Pierce, author and New York Times columnist John McWhorter, comedian violist Isabel Hagen, and a very special surprise guest. We'd like to share that event with you now, so grab a drink. This very special live episode of Classical Music Happy Hour starts right now.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Green Space. I'm Christy Tanner. I am the CEO of New York Public Radio, and that includes WQXR, of course, and WNYC, and a lot of other amazing things. Welcome tonight. Happy to see you all here. We are really thrilled to celebrate the launch of our new podcast called Classical Music Happy Hour. And it really is a happy hour. We are bringing the joy of classical music and arts and culture to a wider audience. And this new podcast is one way that we're doing it every day. I'd like to introduce Elliot Forrest, host of WQXR. And I'll let you get to it, Elliot. Thank you.
Hey, how are you? Are you good? Well, really, welcome to the Green Space. This is so exciting. We're so happy to have you here for the launch of this new podcast. Do you have a cocktail? You know, we're celebrating Emmanuel Ax. They're called Manny Hattons. Have you had one? Let me tell you about the host of this Classical Music Happy Hour, Emmanuel Ax. Born to Polish parents in what is now Ukraine, emigrated with his family to Canada as a young boy. He made his New York debut at the Young Concert Artist Series, went on to win many prizes, including the Avery Fisher Prize. And for more than 50 years, he's become one of the world's most sought-after classical pianists and earning multiple Grammy Awards. Just this last year, he was named Musical Artist of the Year. And now he's the host of a podcast. Please welcome Manny Ax. Welcome to radio.
Thank you.
Are you having fun with it?
Thank you. So far, I haven't done anything wrong tonight,
Yeah.
so it's fine, yeah.
But with the podcast, are you enjoying the process?
Enormously.
So how did it come
enormously.
about? How did this happen?
Well, the first reason was that I always knew that I have the perfect face for radio.
Join the club.
So, but I've been very, very fortunate in my profession to meet an incredible number of obviously interesting and fascinating musicians, but also interesting people who are not necessarily my pianist friends, and that's been a fabulous part of my life. And so it's wonderful to be able to get maybe a chance for other people to hear how interesting and exciting and funny they all are.
Let me ask you, you've had some great guests already. Who would you like to get that you haven't had yet? Who's on your list?
Well, my big pitch would be to get some sports people. I know that because I'm a huge sports fan, and for example, I found out recently that Christian McCaffrey, running back for the 49ers, is a self-taught pianist. And his mother-in-law is a cellist who plays in the Boston Symphony sometimes. So I'm very much hoping to get him on the show.
And if you could go back to someone who's no longer living, who would be on your list? What would be your ideal guest?
God. I would think, I'm just guessing that Mozart would be a really good interview. I think he would be a lot of fun. I'm not so sure. Obviously, Beethoven would be great, but he'd be asking what all the time. But I do think, if I had to pick really from the past, I think Mozart would be a great interview.
All right, we'll see what we can do. Tonight, you are in for a real treat from the people that will be sitting here, and if I can, just one big surprise coming up a little bit later on. I want to bring out our next guest, a long career in film and television, best known to viewers and listeners for his portrayal of Niles Crane on the hit sitcom Frasier, for for which he won 4 Primetime Emmys and 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards, appeared on Broadway many times, including Hello, Dolly and Spamalot, winning a Tony Award for his appearance in the Broadway show Curtains. He recently performed Gilbert and Sullivan, and he was on this very stage when he played Scrooge in the first production of a radio drama version of A Christmas Carol. Please welcome back to the green space, David Hyde Pierce.
That was gorgeous.
Here, pull that a little closer there.
Oh,
It's radio.
that was gorgeous.
So how did you guys met? How did you meet? You've met before.
We met. I was doing a benefit in Los Angeles for an orchestra.
It was actually for Classical Action, which was
yes.
an offshoot of Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS.
And David, who was very great friends with.
The guy who founded Classical Action, his name was Charlie Hamlin, and
Wonderful person.
yes, dear, incredible man who went from managing classical musicians to this running this
And
great charity.
David was at the event, and I got very excited to see Niles, and we talked for a minute, and I realized he is a pianist, so we had a lot to talk about outside of Niles.
Yeah, and I didn't know he knew who I was. I knew who he was. I had been listening to him since I was a kid, and couldn't. And the way these benefits worked, it was in a private home of a person, a wealthy person with a really nice piano, and people would pay money to get the privilege of hearing Manny in a small space.
For a good cause.
Yeah.
So, what possesses you to keep playing the piano?
I love it. It's funny. A group of us were talking backstage about what's the point. Not of coming out here, no, of life. Like, why? How do you focus your life? How do you focus your life? And since you asked me that, I realized that is something I don't know exactly what the point is, but I know it's something that I need to do. I do it almost every day. I have, and with the exception of today, I almost never do it in public because I have a very good understanding of what good music making is, and so I am content to listen to it. But I don't know. It just got to do it.
And you're a great Gilbert and Sullivan fan and performer. Right?
Yes, so I went to a summer camp in New Hampshire. It wasn't a music camp, it wasn't a theater camp, just a summer boys camp. But they had a tradition, because I think the camp was founded in 1910 or something, that they would do a different Gilbert and Sullivan operetta every summer. And they had this fantastic drama program. The camp was called Cabian, with a K, and the operetta program was the Cabian Amateur Operetta Society, which is chaos. And we had the best time, and that was my introduction to Gilbert and Sullivan, and then I ended up doing it all my life.
And now you're very connected to the Orchestra of St. Luke's. That's one of the one of your main interests and loves outside of your regular work.
Yeah, I'm on the board now, but I've been with them. Again, Charlie Hamlin is the person who introduced me. He used to tape me because he used to represent a lot of the musicians who played with them, and I just fell in love with the orchestra, and I've been with them now for a long time, just attending concerts and now on the board. It feels like family, and I made my Carnegie Hall debut with them. They did the incidental music to Midsummer Night's Dream, Mendelssohn's Midsummer Night's Dream, and it's done with narration with some of the Shakespeare, and so I had my way with Shakespeare.
Do you have any desire to conduct? Just a totally idle question.
That's a good question.
I just wondered.
Yeah, no.
Oh, fine. And a wonderful and well-considered answer.
Thank you.
I would say.
Yeah.
And when you practice the piano, do you you practice actual? Do you go over things over and over and over, or do you like just playing?
When I play with you, I do.
Well, we have to do stuff over and over, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I do both. You know what? Now that I'm older, I used to just blow through things. I had a gift for sight reading, which oftentimes when I would do it meant you left a lot of notes out, and that's how you got through stuff. But I would love doing that, and I loved chamber music. I loved sitting down, never having played a piece before, and just reading it through, and the moments where you all breathe together and you don't know why. It's like on stage, the first time you do a first preview and you're in front of an audience, and suddenly things happen and they make sense just because an audience is there, and so just because yeah.
The practicing stuff, I often feel that when you're practicing, it's Ben Franklin's definition of insanity. You know, doing it over and over and expecting a different result.
Yes.
I feel that way about a lot of the practicing I've done over the years, and I wonder if does that happen in the theater? That you obviously rehearse over and over and over before putting on a play, and then what takes over? Is it a different experience, or does the audience completely negate everything you've rehearsed?
That can happen. Really funny things turn out to be not sometimes in front of an audience.
You don't get the laugh you expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it. There's a I don't know how to say it. I think it's like it's just sort of like magic, and practicing for me is in the theater, or it's not about doing the same thing over again. It's a lot, especially now, like I said, that I'm older and I'm a little bit more experienced. Allowing yourself to fail, allowing yourself to fail in front of people, and because that's part of the freedom.
Oh, that's a perfect segue.
I thought it might be.
Yeah. Shall we try our piece?
Let's see how it goes.
And I have a feeling we're going to get the laughs where we expect it.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
Yes.
Should we?
Manny Ax, David Hyde Pierce at the piano. And if I may, we have a very special page turner. Please welcome to the stage our morning host, Jeff Spurgeon. Don't mess up, Jeff.
If this is working, I should say this is wonderful that the two of us are playing together, because our physiques are perfectly suited to four hands. I'm 3/4 and he's 1/4.
Emmanuel Ax, David Hyde Pierce from WQXR, live in the green space. Thank you, guys. That was great. That was terrific. I want to bring our next guest up to the stage. I spotted her on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and knew she should be a part of the WQXR family. Violist, comedian, and filmmaker Isabel Hagen has a bachelor and master's degree from Juilliard in viola performance and has toured with a number of musicians, including Ed Sheeran, Max Richter, and Steve Reich. And she's a comedian and been featured not just on The Tonight Show, but the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal and comedy clubs around the country. Her new film, On a String, won Best Screenplay at film festivals and will be out soon. I am so pleased to welcome to the stage Isabel Hagen.
Thank you. Thanks. I didn't plan the handshakes, but then I did one and I had to go all the way down. Keep it going for that performance. Oh my goodness. Right? I'm so happy to be here, and I'll get to the viola soon. I just have to say, before this, I was killing time at a coffee shop, and I saw a mother with her baby, and I went up to them, and I was like, "Excuse me, she's so cute." And the mom said, "Thank you," taking the compliment for the baby. And that just made me think, I wish I had my mom with me to take all the compliments I receive in public today. That'd be nice. Some guy's like, "Hey, sexy." My mom's like, "Thank you." Isabel, the nice man, say thank you. Thank you. No. I was walking recently and I heard a guy go, "Hey, beautiful." He's like, "Hey, beautiful." And I didn't look at him, not because I felt harassed, but I thought, there's a chance he's not talking to me. And I didn't want to risk it. I'd be like, "Who, me?" He's like, "Oh, no." And then I just have to be like, "Oh, sorry. I just thought, Turns out he's just doing his daily affirmations, or he's like, "Hey, beautiful. You got this. You got this today." It's fun. If you're insecure enough, you kind of can't get harassed. There's a power to it, right? I was walking behind a guy. He was walking a dog on a leash, and the dog kept looking back at me, right? And then the guy said audibly to the dog, "Why do you keep looking at her? Huh? Just because she's cute and blonde?" And instead of thinking like, "Oh, that's a clever way to hit on a woman," I just thought, "Nah, that dog's not attracted to me, probably." No. So I do comedy, in case you didn't know, and I'm a comedian, but I'm also a violist. As Elliot mentioned, I went to Juilliard for the viola, and then now I tell fart jokes in casinos, mostly. The Juilliard viola degree to stand-up comedy pipeline is alive and well, but no, it's good. I'll explain a little how I got here. So there was a time when I was just a violist, and then I got a repetitive stress injury on my wrist from practicing too much while I was at Juilliard. It's really hard. But so I couldn't play for a couple months. And I always said in another life I'd be a comedian, so I started going to comedy open mics. And I also mentioned that before the injury, I was dealing with a ton of performance anxiety. My hands would shake, and I was just blowing every performance. I couldn't play how I know I could. It was very frustrating. So the first time I did stand-up, I had this realization, which was that I could tell jokes even with my hands shaking. And it was so liberating. And then I thought, oh my God, what else could I do with my hands shaking? Not much, turns out. Stand-up comedy and stuff I can't say on public radio. All right. Come see me at the clubs. All right. Anyway. But so I loved doing stand-up. I discovered this new thing. So I kept doing comedy. My injury healed, so I was playing viola again. I was doing both. I was keeping them very separate. I didn't want to combine them. And people would always find out that I did both. And they would say, well, do you ever combine the two in an act, like the ultimate viola comedy combo show. You must. The world needs. And I was like, no, I don't do that because I don't know who would want to see that. Turns out that's all anyone wants to see from me. I get booked for a comedy gig and they're like, you're bringing the viola too, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay. But to humor those people who kept asking, I have this sort of ongoing experiment where I play a little viola and then I do a little stand-up and we just see how it goes together. So I'm going to do that for you now, all right? Sound good? Okay. A little viola, a little stand-up. I hate when people show me pictures of their kids. It's like, we get it. He's missing. Move on. I'm married, and marriage is a real roller coaster of emotions, right? Like some days you're just so you want to strangle them, and then other days you're completely numb. They say that the trick to wearing makeup is like to make it look like you're not wearing any, right? That's an old saying. So what I do is sometimes I don't wear makeup, and then I go up to someone and I'm like, hey, I'm wearing makeup. And they're like, whoa, but you look so tired. I'm like, thanks, yeah, I'm really good at it. My mom recently informed me that I breastfed till I was 3. And I was like, yeah, Mom, I remember. Everything I do in my life, it's just so I don't have regrets on my deathbed, right? That's what we're all afraid of, is regrets on the deathbed, right? Even though if you think about it, the deathbed, best time to have the regrets. You don't have to live with them for very long. Who cares if in your dying breath you're just like, no, I should have opened a bakery. Then you're done. Then it's over, right? I was seeing a guy before I was married. I was seeing this guy. He really wanted to settle down. And I was like, look, buddy, I got a lot of things I want to do before I settle down, you know? Like, find the right person. I've been Isabel Hagen. Thank you so much.
Isabel Hagen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, careful.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you, Isabel. That was very lovely.
Can I use that in my bio? Very lovely. I don't think that's ever been the words after what I do, but I love that. Thank you.
So, I'm okay. I understand you practiced viola. Did you actually practice comedy at an early age?
Well, I don't know if I really practiced viola enough, but no, well, when I switched to viola at age 10, I Googled all of the viola jokes I could find.
You switched from
From
comedy? Oh, from violin. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, it would make
Sorry.
sense. Weirder things have happened. But so I Googled all the viola jokes I could find. I just started telling them to everyone because I thought, oh, I'm a violist now, so I can tell these, right?
Yes.
And so I guess that was my practice. I was telling viola jokes all the time.
Well, they used to be very funny. It's changed. It's changed. Well, I guess what I mean by that is that violists historically were thought of as not so good violinists, but now violists are so brilliant that you can't tell those jokes anymore. They're meaningless.
Some violists still could, right?
Okay. What did you watch people like Victor Borge?
I saw some Victor Borge. There was PDQ Bach playing.
Right.
And then just stand-up comedians. My brother would watch George Carlin, and I would look over his shoulder and just think, that's amazing. How could anyone do that?
Yeah, I understand. Danny Kaye was somebody that I also grew up with, who was an incredible comedian with music because he was also somehow a gifted conductor. It seemed to go together. So maybe that's the next step.
Conducting.
Yeah, for you.
That's what everyone wants, another conductor, right?
Well, but you could if you could deal with an orchestra by jokes.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. It's one way.
Certainly. Yeah. My brother's a conductor, so we could.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you can practice on him.
Exactly.
Oh, I meant it the other way. I guess you should practice on you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And what possibly I find it amazing that I also went to Juilliard.
Really? No.
Yeah, the thought. I know I don't look it, but I did. I find it amazing that you could actually gravitate to performing comedy. Were there funny people at school?
I don't know. You
Were
tell me.
Would you say there were other people who actually had talent like that?
Yeah, I would. Maybe not the willingness to humiliate themselves for years at open mics, but definitely the raw talent if they wanted to do that. I think there are a lot of musicians are very funny.
But seriously, when comedy is a very tough act, isn't it? And you really have to practice, and you have to suffer through a lot of negative being no laughs, I guess.
The difference between comedy and the biggest difference between comedy and music, I find, is that you really have to practice comedy in front of an audience. Like, you can write a joke, but you really don't start working on the joke until there's an audience there giving you the feedback. Whereas with classical music, you can get really good in secret.
Yes.
And they don't have to hear all the... I mean, sure, I messed up
understand.
plenty in front of an audience, too, as a violist, but you can,
I have to believe that an audience listening to music is also a lot nicer than an audience listening to a comedy show.
Yes.
I've never yet been yelled at after a movement saying, not funny.
Well, I could tell you a quick anecdote is what I did what I just did, where I played and told jokes at a show, and a woman came up to me after and she said, you look so happy when you play music and so sad when you tell jokes. And then she just walked away. But I think what the woman what she doesn't realize is it's only because of comedy that I can now smile when I play music. It took pursuing the one career more miserable than music. To be like, oh, this isn't so bad. Yeah, no one throws things at you in the music performance.
Do you play concerts without jokes?
I have. I'm trying to think.
I mean,
yes,
is it
I
something
do.
you do? Is
Not
it something
solo.
you do?
I still play with some ensembles and chamber groups sometimes.
I see.
And
I see.
when the opportunity arises.
Yeah, and you never feel the impulse to just jump in. And if there's like a grand pause in the music,
Maybe I felt the impulse, but boy,
you've never done it. No.
it's one of those things that's like an intrusive thought. Don't do it. Like when you're at your concert in the audience and there's like a quiet moment, you're like, what if I just got up and screamed right now? You never do it, but you have that thought. How crazy would that be, right?
But we do think about it.
We think about it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
At least we do.
I'm Manny Ax, and this is Classical Music Happy Hour. We'll return in just a moment. This is Classical Music Happy Hour. I'm Manny Ax. Let's return to our very special live episode of Classical Music Happy Hour.
Let's bring out our next guest, if we could.
Yes.
He is an associate professor in the Slavic department at Columbia University, where he teaches seminars on American linguistics, history, and the unique mixtures of North American dialects and languages. He also has more than 20 books to his credit, and he writes a weekly column for the New York Times. He hosts the language podcast Lexicon Valley. Please welcome John McWhorter.
Yay! Hey, John. Hi. Shall I start off?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to interview John because I read in some of the columns that he was he loved music, and I thought it would be wonderful to have someone who doesn't actually is not part of the music world.
I'm not.
Then I find out today, not from my podcast, but today, that he's actually a cabaret pianist.
A little.
So thanks a lot for telling me that before. Thank you. But you've written 20 books, of which I focused on one.
Which one?
Take a wild guess. The one
About cussing?
The one about cussing.
Yes, that's
the
nine
one about
nasty
cussing.
words. Yeah.
And as I'm sure a lot of other people have.
People seem to like that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So one of the things that I was curious about was, I know you love musical theater.
I do.
You love words.
I do.
Have you ever thought of taking this book and making it into an opera or a musical comedy?
The actual truth is that you heard it here first, my next cabaret show in New York City is going to be inspired by Nine Nasty Words. The idea being to only do songs that have those particular curse words in them. And so that's going to take us from the 50s up to last week. And so, yes,
Wow.
I decided, yes, that book needs to be musicalized in some way.
That's wonderful to hear. I will be online to
It's
buy
happening.
a ticket for that.
Either May or June or July or next fall. But it is
Terrific. When you listen to music that's not text, is there a text in your mind?
You mean if I hear a sonata, are there words in my mind?
Yes, I wish I'd said that.
Yeah. Often in my head, I even spontaneously make up words to musical lines that I like a lot. I hear a piece as saying things almost in the form of sentences, so that if music does not sound like sentences, which it often doesn't, especially newer music, I get a little impatient because it sounds to me, and this is often very good music, which if I listen 7 times, I can get it. But the first and the second time, it sounds like someone raving because, for example, maybe it never resolves. Like for me, even Tristan and Isolde is just somebody who never gets to the point because it doesn't resolve. And so that takes me a little while. But yes, music and language are in the same part of my head as they are in most people's.
I was going to ask you whether there was a link between harmonic movement or harmonic resolution and how words change from time to time. What I mean is, in the Middle Ages, the major third.
They're not in the exact same part of my brain because I'm really working to connect those two things. But keep going. Keep going.
Okay, I probably said it badly.
No, you
but-
didn't. It was
but
beautiful. Keep going.
What in the Middle Ages, the resolution or the perfect harmony was nothing but an octave or a fifth, and the triad, the major or minor triad, was actually a dissonance.
A little naughty. Yeah.
No, and over the years, it became, of course, completely normal. And the seventh chord was still. Should I illustrate any of these? Or
If you,
is that-
if you want.
very quickly, just.
Is there going to be a test on this, or?
Yes, but no one has to
Grab that microphone, Manny.
Oh, sorry. The only consonant things were this and this. And
This
you
is
heard-
when music was boring, frankly. Keep going.
Gregorian chant, and then when you heard this, that note was a dissonance, or this note was a dissonance. Eventually, we got used to this, right? And then this became a dissonance. Of course, now
That's
it's
not boring. Exactly.
Yeah, now it's not a dissonance anymore. Then we got this, which was a different position. That was a dissonance, but is no longer. So now, when you hear a piece of Schoenberg, it can resolve, instead of resolving to this, it can resolve to this. You know, and if you get used to it enough, that sounds like a resolution from everything that came before. You may not want to hear what came before, but that would be. So I'm just wondering if the same thing happens. Well, I'll give you an example. There's a word I took. Why did I
Here,
take the mic?
give it
Sorry,
to me. It's
sorry
all right.
about that. I did all the wrong thing. People now say most importantly, which has always bothered me because it seems to mean that it's people who are talking in the most important way. You know, most importantly. But actually what they're saying is most important. So if you add the li, but that's now common usage. That's like adding a dissonance to the chord. Or is it? I mean, I just wondered if these changes in, you know, in language are sort of at all analogous.
You know, you just gave me my next book. That's amazing. Here's what those two things have in common. The languages, materials, and what you mean never match perfectly, and they match more imperfectly than you might think. So, for example, if I see someone out on the street and I say, "What are you doing there?" Well, I'm watching them do it. I know exactly what they're doing. If I say, "What are you doing there?" we all know that means, why are you there?
Right, okay.
Speaking English. Language is full of that. It's every second sentence where you just kind of have to know. And as far as harmony goes, for example, plain chant, where frankly anything but fifths and octaves was considered even sometimes a little naughty, like a little sacrilegious. Why are you making it so complicated? And yet those people lived as richly as we do. They had the same consciousness. They were the same Homo sapiens.
I knew them well.
The way they were some great people. And the way we hear harmony, as inevitable as it seems, is not the way all human beings ever have or do hear harmony. And so, for example, I have noticed that in trying to teach music to people under about 35 at Columbia, when I moonlight doing music humanities, that you can no longer say major is happy and minor is sad. That to me is as intuitive as that, you know, the sky is blue. Nowadays, because most hip hop is in minor, and so happy, danceable songs are in minor, they don't hear it that way. And it's not that they're stupid, it's that these things are arbitrary to us. And so, it's those two things, chapters 1 and 2, and then I'm going to keep going.
Okay. I'll buy the book or maybe get a free copy.
You, of course, will.
Okay.
You can have an audio if
So
you want.
we have a little quiz for you
Uh-oh.
as an expert on words.
I might not know. Okay.
These are Gen Z words.
Oh, this.
Let's
Okay.
see how much of this. You have 11-year-old daughters.
And a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
I tried to listen to that.
Okay. Riz. What is Riz?
Oh, well, that's from 4 or 5 years ago. Riz is short for charisma, and it means roughly is somebody, shall we say, hot.
Okay.
So that person has riz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chuji.
Oh, I forget what that one means.
Baloney. You never knew it. Come on.
No, I've heard my 14-year-old's best friend say it, and I asked once, and I didn't really care. Okay. Does it mean? Does it refer to probably a gentleman who could stand to not weigh as much as he does?
No, that would be me. No. It's simply outdated. Trying too hard on fashion.
I only heard it once.
Okay.
I'm not cool.
For the plot.
I never heard that at all. What does that mean?
Doing something risky or crazy.
Oh.
I don't know how reliable these are. I'm just reading them.
I'll try to keep up with that one.
Okay, and aura points.
Well, the aura is this way that they're talking about the atmosphere about you, or you trying to create an atmosphere in a self-conscious way. If you're doing that effectively, then you get the aura points.
You did pretty well.
John McWhorter, everyone.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I try my best, but I'm 60. I'm losing the plot. So I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
All right, we have one final guest. We promised a surprise. Maybe you should do the honors, Manny.
Yeah, well, this is an old friend who, well, it's easy to get him to show up because he never has anything to do. But if I could, it's seriously, it's incredibly nice of him to make the effort and come and see all of us, and it's my friend Yo-Yo Ma. So. Yay! Maestro. Hi.
Manny,
They'll let anybody in.
I know. Manny, you got aura.
I don't know if that mic is working, but if it's not, just let it. If it's not working, leave it that way.
No, we got it.
That's our relationship right there. 50 years.
Hi.
You know, it's incredible. You know, if I had known you had such wonderful friends,
You wouldn't have bothered with me.
I would have wanted to be friends with you even earlier than when I was 16 years old. Because Manny was kind of like my big brother role model. I was 15. I was at Juilliard. I majored in cafeteria. And Manny was the guy who could tell jokes. It hasn't stopped. And he was a brilliant pianist. He went to Columbia. He majored in French. I mean, I thought, wow, what a guy. And I just tried to hang around him. I'm still trying to hang around him. And look at the friends that he's introducing me and all of us to. It's an incredible thing that you're doing. You do have aura.
Anyway, thank you so much for being here. What have you learned from this experience so far?
Settle in, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Elliot. The one thing that I would like to mention, I don't think I've actually heard anybody say this. One of the things that Manny loves to do, and I completely support him in that, is that you always have felt that as a professional musician, you actually try to get to the essence of what an amateur musician is, which means that the only reason an amateur musician plays music is because they love it. And so outside of job pressure and all of those other things, what you hold true, what I've seen you do over 50 years, is exactly that. And everywhere you go, you meet people, you play with them, you know, they're young, they're old, you teach 90-year-olds, you know, there might even be some people in this room that are, you know, and it's something, you don't discriminate in terms of the hierarchy of life and society.
But don't
and
you
that's
f-
what music is for.
But don't you feel that we are so much closer to people who just play for fun than people think? Did I say that right? We're not so far away. He should correct me all the time. John
As
is
they
here.
say, you're
John
good.
John will at the
Your
end
Riz.
of at the end of our chat. At the end of our chat, John will be here to explicate the entire evening. No, what I mean is, we're much closer connected to that, especially when we play music by Beethoven, Mozart. The music this was often written for was written for amateurs, so-called amateurs. The Beethoven Triple Concerto was written for the Emperor of Austria and 2 professional musicians.
Some amateur.
And when I play, I very often feel like an amateur.
There you go. He loves it. No, but that's really true. And in fact, I know when we try and perform together, one of the reasons that we love to play with one another is that we believe in the same way of making music. We're equal partners, and even though he plays easily 20 times more notes than I do, and if he were paid 20 times more, I wouldn't feel as good.
No, but the quality of your notes, pure gold.
But the thing is that we decided, 50 years ago, to actually say, if we're going to be a partner, duo partner, we're actually sharing and doing something where the goal is how do we fit in to the larger context of what the music is saying, and we held to that, and I think we're still talking to one another.
Talking about larger context, I know you don't like talking about the stuff you do because you're very modest but
Look
you've
who's
been
talking.
you've been doing so much work around connecting nature to music and to life, and I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about. Okay.
We're not going anywhere.
No, just a little bit about the fact that you've been doing stuff in national parks. You did a thing in Mammoth Cave. I know I'm not supposed to mention that, but I know I asked Yo-Yo to talk about Mammoth Cave and the concert he did, and he said, "Yeah, it's a cave." So,
And it's big. Hence it's called Mammoth.
with his usual eloquence, he told me. But the reason I say that is because, look, Beethoven, Brahms, the composers that I often deal with and that we deal with a lot, these are people that derived so much inspiration from walking in the forest, from not only the Pastoral Symphony of Beethoven, but a lot of the stuff that he wrote came from notebooks that he jotted down walking by himself in the forest. So I was interested. Do you get musical inspiration from being connected to nature?
Well, actually, we were just talking before you were coming on stage about.
You weren't listening?
We were talking and listening.
Sorry.
It's a dual.
I'm sorry
kind
to
of
interrupt. Pardon
aspect,
me. Go right ahead. Sorry. Sorry. Go
only
on.
with half an ear.
Go on.
We were talking about what our goals are in life. What's the purpose? What are we here for? What are we doing?
What's the end game?
What's the end game? And I just turned 70, and you're pushing 60, and you're like, it's like
Yeah.
I don't
Let's
even
not
want to
even
talk about
it.
and so I think one of the things that's great about being older is that it actually every day that you live means more, so that you can separate the more the important from the urgent, right? And what is important, and so we were having that conversation. Nature, we're part of nature. I think I ask people, are we part of nature? And generally people say we are. Well, if we are part of nature, what I thought, well, nature is infinite. It's unbelievably creative, and it's also terrifyingly destructive. And so are we. So I think we spend so much time saying we're good and it's the other guys that are bad. That's not true, because what's in our DNA, both are there. So it's, if we can just actually acknowledge that this is part of us, the destructive forces as well as the creative forces. And I think the sooner we can actually genuinely agree on that, we would actually start acting slightly differently, because, you know, the overall thought is that we, you know, we have a purpose that's greater than us. We have a better understanding of ourselves. Manny and I have these crazy discussions where he gets so frustrated with me, and we would start rehearsing, and he would talk about something or talk about something else, and we would disagree for a long time, and after about 2 hours, we realized that we're actually talking about the same thing. But he usually shakes his head and says, yo, there you go again. It's always pizza. Now, what do you mean by that? What is pizza in your mind?
It came from it because you were talking. There was a moment where you were discussing something in a Beethoven sonata, and all of a sudden you went, yes, this is like when you see Venus from a certain point of view, and you know the light, and I, what does this have to do with, you know, the fact that we're not together in measure 47? And he said, well, and so I got from that. I said, you know, I have a feeling, and Yo-Yo seems to be able to connect everything in a way, in a logical way. I mean, actually to get there. So I think I said, you know, if somebody said to you, what would you do if somebody talked about a slice of pizza and asked you to connect it to astrophysics? And he said, no problem. And he found a way. So that's why I say pizza when he, you know, that's where the pizza comes from.
Well, this is great, because, and the reason I do this is because Manny knows so much music, and I know very little music, so I can't talk about. So when we rehearse, he'll say, "Well, this piece, this little place, reminds me of this piece and that piece and that piece." I'm saying, "Okay, you know, this sounds like pizza to me."
You know, if I may interrupt about your knowledge, this is the only time that two positives make a negative. Yeah. You know plenty.
Shall we? I noticed you brought a cello.
Elliot, you, I mean, wow.
I know. I've been in the business a couple of minutes.
I
so,
tell you, that's very good. I mean, speaking of your name, nature.
Oh, the forest. Oh, yes, out in the forest. Can we bring Manny some music? Might you maybe? Oh, it's over here, Manny. There you go. Maybe
this is just for show.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, I played this once. Do you remember?
Of course.
I played
and
your
you
cello.
can play it again if you'd like.
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
Shall we do it?
After you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Emmy Ax, Yo-Yo Ma, live in the green space.
If the bluebird can,
That was-
why can't I?
Beautiful.
That was the Buxtehude Opus 2 number 6.
As I said, Manny knows all music.
I'm Manny Ax, and this is Classical Music Happy Hour. Classical Music Happy Hour is supported in part by the Robert and Mercedes Eichholz Foundation and by Linda Nelson. Our production team includes Lauren Purcell-Joiner, Eileen Delahunty, Laura Boyman, Elizabeth Nonamaker, David Norville, Christine Herskovits, and Eddie M. Our engineering team includes George Wellington, Irene Trudell, and Chase Kulpon. Classical Music Happy Hour is produced by WQXR in partnership with Carnegie Hall.